Tonight, from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Time to get our first look at one of the star faces of the NFL, Patrick Mahomes and his Kansas City offense. Really the gold standard among NFL offenses since he became the starter in 2018.
We'll talk about Patrick Mahomes. What's a normal season for him is probably a career year for 99% of the other quarterbacks in the game today. 4,800 yards, 37 touchdowns, and a fourth straight trip to the AFC title game. He is making sure that all of us understand what he is doing is sometimes beyond spectacular, and his team follows accordingly. When he's under center, KC always has a shot.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mahomes going to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
And part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity, just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Up the gut, Fournette. And room there to work it inside the 25. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week. 17 carries, 138 yards, and a touchdown.
How about the first month of the season for him? He leads the league in rushing, so you know his confidence is at an all-time high, which means his offensive line loves it too. They'll get more opportunities to run block for him.
Fournette once more on 2nd down. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That one a first down pickup of 8. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And it's caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result,
see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Fournette, touchdown, Buccaneers. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Ryan Succop for the point after. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. That time a 6-play drive. And the man who finished it off with a run into the end zone, Leonard Fournette. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, and lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The numbers for Travis Kelce last week. 6 catches, 76 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
Throwing again on second down. Mahomes. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. Our game here, Bucs and Chiefs, certainly one of the crown jewels of this 2022 NFL schedule. Of course, a rematch of that memorable Super Bowl 55, Tom Brady's 7th Super Bowl title, when his guys really outmanned a Kansas City team who came up short in their quest to go back-to-back. And you look at these two quarterbacks, Brady just a legend of the game. Many say the GOAT. Mahomes, certainly you could say on a similar trajectory. And then we'd be remiss for not mentioning these two, of course, shared a Madden cover back in 2021. So this a hot ticket indeed here in Tampa. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted.
But that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Fournette, a first down carry. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. The Buccaneers sit 3-0 here in the month of September. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Brady's throw there complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
On 1st down, Brady. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Again, they'll throw with Brady. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete. It really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Fair catch called for and made, but they may back him up 10 here and have him do it again. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Mahomes to throw. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now it's Mahomes again. Finding Edwards-Helaire once again. It'll go down as a gain of 6. 3rd and 7 now. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Flushed out right. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. Now here's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. 2nd and 4. Now Mahomes. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Being chased out left. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 25-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense. as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mahomes now to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka showcasing the pass rush.
Opportunities as a rookie were limited for Joe Tryon-Shoyinka in a deep Tampa defense, but he still picked up 4 sacks and made 6 starts in 2021, and there should be more to come in 2022 and beyond.
And he missed it. It's no good, and this will stay at a 7-point game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And finding the tight end Rudolph. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Succop's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Joe Burrow, over 400 yards passing with 3 touchdown passes as well. From there, we say, so long, America. Hello, England. As we head over the Atlantic to check out the action in London, where it was the Saints serving as the home team who were able to come away with the victory. Jameis Winston.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Brady and the Bucs now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, he'll throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Inside handoff down to Fournette. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3-and-out.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. And he stopped immediately there. Levante David in on the tackle. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Now back to throw. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is off target to the left, didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and they will not cut into that 10-point lead. Trots out there now. But Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Handoff to Fournette. Down to about the 22 here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7. Leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Second down, back to Fournette. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 45 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. To throw, it's Brady. Over the middle here to Rudolph. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, Everett.
Touchdown! Russell Gage, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
No lead safe in the new NFL, but this score is really going to give them some needed breathing room.
Extra point try now for Suckup. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. Taken at about the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Shaquille Barrett in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. To try again after the sack. Mahomes, he'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And this is going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he can do there, and he winds up giving the ball away.
Here's a give to Fournette. Chris Jones, the all-pro defensive tackle, there to make the play defensively. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Fakes the give to Fournette. Now Brady. That's going to be caught. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Mike Evans, 26 yards. And the Buccaneers are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it. Now this Chiefs offense gets set to go again. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Extra point up and good by Suckup. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they'll start at the 25 as McKinnon decides against returning it. And out come the Chiefs now. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 more on that one and another first down. To throw, it's Mahomes. He'll swing this one out to Edwards-Helaire. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 7 yards there and a first down. And again, it's Mahomes. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no zero. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
A gain of 3, second down. Again, it's Fournette. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 68 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. So first and 10 now from the 30. Now Leonard Fournette. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Well, this was a really nice display, Charles, of complimentary football, especially how much they were humming in the second half to pull away and get the victory. Really a complete performance.
And so much fun when you're able to have everyone contribute both sides of the ball. You go back in the locker room and you just savor it, right? Because that's what football's all about. A true team game, and they got it done in this one.
So for the Buccaneers, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Atlanta Falcons next week. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll